Welcome. I'm here with Dr. Henrik Breitenbauch, the Dean of the Royal Danish Defence College. Henrik and I know each other already for a longer period of time. Henrik, welcome to The Hague.
Thank you.
Today we're talking about MDO, multi-domain operations, and specifically about the role of command and control. What do you see as some sort of the key challenges that NATO faces in turning C2 structures into a reality to facilitate MDO?
Well, the first point is about technology, because when we think about C2, we very often think about communication systems and making sure that knowledge is available everywhere at the moment that it's needed. Mm-hmm. So the first point is that yes, sure, C2 certainly is about technology, and it's about implementing the ability to have connectivity all over the system in order to enable cross-domain command.
So that's technical. And is that technology in place? Is that technology there?
No, it's certainly not in place. We have tons and tons of legacy systems, especially in the land military domain, which cannot talk to one another even within a given set of land forces inside a specific national structure. But across national land militaries, it's even more difficult.
Right. So that is problem one that needs to be tackled.
Yeah.
I imagine there's also a conceptual problem.
Well, there's also a political or cultural problem which has to do with trust and which is not linked directly to the technology side, but which is limiting the technology integration. Take an example as the new F-35 aircraft, very capable aircraft, very good at communicating and sharing information, but the participating air forces are very reluctant to share information on the inside of that specific technological network.
Right.
And so that's kind of paradoxical. We don't have the trust necessarily, we don't have the political will either to integrate. There's reluctance, for example, also to pre-position forces, because that will send a wrong signal in peacetime. And they would have to be positioned in order to give in a wartime situation, to give delegated command and control to the NATO force structure.
Right.
And that's a paradox, because it gets even more expensive to do it in a time of crisis. It gets more risky. So that's another example of how political reservations, trust, and culture issues, in a sense, seep into what is essentially a technological discussion.
Right. If we talk about C2, command and control, we say them in tandem. But they are different, are they not?
They are very different. They're just as different as leadership and management. They are two sides of the same discipline, in a sense. And often we talk about command separately, but when we say C2, we often actually only mean the control side. So I think it's important to unpack these two sides of C2.
Can you unpack them? I mean, if you look at that, what does it mean for MDO then?
Well, I think on the command side, it's important to know that we have kind of two competing paradigms that we're working with, and one is the MDO paradigm, which is about integrating everything, having this all-seeing eye that enables us to stand like at a buffet and then eat everything at once when we want to. Yeah. But on the other hand, we have this very powerful and very important notion that we want to do mission command. And these two concepts of command actually are a little bit incompatible, and the more we get down the road of the technological side of control, the more we can actually talk to one another, the more we realize the foundations for MDO, the more we might actually be undermining the potential for mission command.
Right. A very relevant paradox. So what does it mean? What does it mean going forward?
Well, I think first and foremost it means that NATO should not think about C2 as something that only has to do with technology. It needs to be treated at a high level of concern and also include some of the difficult political discussions. And I think because of that, moving forward, and I've seen that NATO HCSS has already announced this, but I think moving forward we should think even more about interoperability again, and maybe even revive the old Connected Forces Initiative.
All right. Thank you very much, Henrik.
Thank you.